Lisa. I'm here to show you today how to make bead angels. I've been making these since I was a little girl. My grandmother, Wilma Morrow, taught me how to make them. Spent many summers at her house in Fort Lauderdale, and she was quite a crafter, and she made these angels and she taught my mom and me how to make them. My mom is Alleen Oberste, who recently passed away a couple of weeks ago. And we want to make this video to show everybody in our family and anybody that's interested how to make these bead angels and how to pass this tradition along to the future generations. One more picture. There's my mom, Alleen Oberste, and her husband, George Oberste, my parents, who were married 60 years before Dad passed away 8 years ago. So we want to make this video to just pass along to all of the grandchildren and great-grandchildren how to make these bead angels. The originals that my grandmother made, you'll see that they have faces in the beads. I haven't found those anywhere. They're wearing little hats. These have, oops, sorry, she's turned around. These have wings, and they have little hands. And this one here also has the little hands, but no wings. So there's all different ways to make them. Also, these have little round beads in the bottom, which I haven't been using, but it just shows you that you can kind of make these your own, do whatever kind of beads that you want. This is one that I actually found at an estate sale, and I bought it. It just shows that there's a different kind of head. It has a little halo on top. They use pearl beads and gold safety pins, so it just shows that there's all different kind of ways to do it. These are ones that we have made this year, and they just show different color combinations. There's all different ways. Here's what you need to get started to make these bead angels. First, you need a lot of safety pins. I bought these at Michael's in the sewing section, but just be sure that you get several that are in this larger size. You'll see those later. Then you need craft wire. This is the one I've been using most recently, and it is 24 gauge. That is about the best size that you need, so you use 24 gauge craft wire. Next, you'll need some wire cutters. This is the pair that I have here. Then you need Sunburst beads, and we have many colors. This is what it looks like in the package. I have all these colors, and we found them at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but I've also found them online on Amazon recently in many colors. Next, you need Rondelle beads, R-O-N-D-E-L-L-E. Those are the small beads. We have those in several colors. Then you also need some wood beads for the heads. We have some larger ones and some smaller ones. And you need these tiny little, I call them seed beads. I'm not sure what they're called in the package, but we have pearl, pearlescent, silver, they have gold. And that is the list. Next one is loading the Rondelle beads onto the safety pin. Now, how many safety pins you use will determine the size of your angel. This is one that uses 10 safety pins. This is one that we had done last year that uses 8. So you can see how this one's fatter and this one's smaller. Today we're going to be using 9 actually, because that's how many colors I'm using. So I take the safety pin and I'm going to start loading the beads. This one has 7 Rondelle beads in it, and I'm going to do black and a color and black and a color. You can choose any color, oops, sorry. You can use any color combination that you want. This is just what I'm choosing to do today. So I've got my 7 beads in there. I'm going to shut it, and I'm done with the first safety pin. Step is to take a portion of wire, no particular length, just be sure it's long enough to go through all of the safety pins. We're going to thread each safety pin onto the wire at the small end, and make sure all of your beads are facing the same way. You don't want to thread one this way and have it facing the other way. Make sure they're all facing the same way. Okay, you can see now that I used way too long of a piece. We didn't need this long of a piece, but you're going to take this after you've threaded all of the safety pins onto the wire. You're going to bring the wires together like this, and you're going to twist them to close it up. So you want to twist this. Twist it several times, and then take your wire cutters and cut off the end. And then you're going to push this under so it doesn't hurt any little fingers that play with these angels. Next, we're going to make the bottom of the skirt. You will need as many of the safety pins that you had. You need that many of your Sunburst beads. And we are going to, let's see, I'm going to start with the brown one here. We're going to thread the wire through that end and put on one of the little Rondelle beads, and then a Sunburst bead, and then the next Rondelle bead. So my next color here is blue. So I'm going to go to the blue, and the next safety pin, the next Rondelle bead, and the next Starburst bead. So now that we've got all of the beads in the bottom of the skirt put onto the wire, we're going to pull these two pieces of wire together like we did at the top and cross them and twist. Just like before. Twist several times, make sure it's good and tight. Then we're going to cut off the end and tuck it under, just like before. Now for the tricky part. Get a really long piece of wire, and we're going to thread these tiny little seed beads under here. This is going to form the top that you will put your hook on. So we're going to start putting those on here one at a time. Okay, so now we've got all of these little beads on here. I've used about 10 or 12. It doesn't matter how many you use. Put them in the center of your piece of wire, or close to it, and pull it together and make one double strand of wire now. And we're going to take this, I'm going to cut the end off because I had it twisted so those beads wouldn't fall off. Okay, so we're going to take this double strand of wire and we're going to start with the hat. I call it a hat. We're going to use 2 of the Sunburst beads. I've always just used 2 beads, but lately I've started putting one of the little Rondelle beads in between to give it just a little extra color. So I'm doing a Sunburst, a Rondelle, and then a Sunburst. And now we're going to put the head on. So I've chosen one of the larger beads here for the head. And now we're going to do the neck. So another Sunburst, a Rondelle, and sometimes you have trouble getting it on there, and another Sunburst. So now we've got the top of the angel, the hat, the head, and the neck. This is the most frustrating part of the whole thing. You take your section that you've just made and you need to thread both pieces down through the center of the skirt, and then you're going to need to bring these pieces back up through the middle and through one of these little smaller pieces, and it's so hard to get this in here just right, and we have to really work at it. I kind of bring it up through the middle like this and pull if you can. It's stuck, sorry. Okay, so pull it up. Okay, so I pulled it up through here, and now I'm going to thread it through one of these little things here. There you go, that wasn't so hard. Just thread it through and pull. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other side, and it doesn't matter exactly which one it comes through, but these are going to be the wings, so you want it to be maybe not quite in the middle, maybe a little bit towards the back. Sorry, so I've got it through here, and I'm going to bring it up through this one. So I'm going to bring it up through the middle first, through between 2 of the safety pins, and then I'm going to thread it through one of these little things and pull. And if it gets twisted, just work at it until it untwists, and then pull tight. I'm going to make the wings. I've already laid out the Rondelle beads that I'm going to use. I've created a pattern that I want. You can use all one color, you can use all white, you can just whatever you want. And it doesn't matter what number of beads, the more you make, the bigger the wings. We have 21, I think, here. It can be anywhere between like 14 and 25. And we're going to start by getting one of these wires, and we're just going to start threading the beads under here one at a time. Now I've got all the beads and the wire, and I'm going to twist it like this, and I need to cross the wires back here behind the first bead and this last bead. So see, I've got them crossed there, and I'm going to twist it to make this secure. Sorry. Okay, so I've got the wire crossed, and now I'm just going to twist it several times, and that makes the wing. And then I'm going to cut off this end right here, and kind of tuck that in so nobody gets hurt. There's one wing. And now I'm twisting my second wing together here. And after this, we will be done making this angel. It takes me about 15 minutes to make one. The first time you make one, it's probably going to take you 30 or 45 minutes, and you might mess up. If you do, just take it apart, start over. Don't let it get you frustrated, because after you've made several, it will be easy, and you can make one in about 15 minutes. And there, oh, and let me say this too. If it looks like it's bending over or loose, don't worry, because when you hang it on a tree, you're going to hang it by a hook, and it's not going to look like that. There we have our bead angel, and I hope that you can learn to make these and pass this along to your kids and your grandkids. I know Madeline and Catherine and I have enjoyed making these for teachers and for our neighbors and friends, and everybody seems to enjoy getting them. So I hope you will enjoy making your own bead angels and passing this tradition along to your kids and grandkids.